All right, what is up? Good morning. We're doing a reaction video. I don't normally do these reaction things, but this showed up in my men's community this morning, and a bunch of people have DM'd it to me and emailed it. So I figure, what the heck? Let's do a reaction to 2 years, 500 matches, and 100 dates. And to be honest with you, it's not that much different from my own experience. So let's hop into this here. So this showed up. This is the, let's add to stream. So over 2 years, let's see if we can fill, there we go. So, come on, work with me, technology. Over 2 years, I've had over 500 matches, gone on exactly 100 dates. So out of curiosity, took notes, a lot of notes. I thought I'd share all the numbers, what I experienced going on 100 dates. Now, this post has been removed by the moderators of r/Tinder. I'm guessing that's Reddit Tinder. Keeping community safe, civil, true to the purpose. Obviously, they didn't like that. I noticed when I clicked on the dude's profile, and let's see if we can get, there it is. It does show up. So when I clicked on the dude's profile, so this is here, Eyes and Heart. That is him, right? Eyes and Heart. That's him, yeah. So this is the dude over here in his post. It's funny because when you do stuff like this as a guy, and I'm assuming there's a lot of women in this Tinder Reddit thread, but this is his response after posting his infographic, which I'll show you guys in a moment. It says, "Wow, what's wrong with you people? There are way too many people out there so full of hate. Woke up today to well over 100 direct messages, of which the vast majority were full of hate, disgust, contempt, and even a few death threats. Do I really deserve to die because of a few experiences I shared on a dating sub?" Come on, people. I thought that was pretty funny because he's not really doing anything that's that out of line, if I'm being honest with you, or in my view anyway. So let me remove this from the screen and add to screen the infographic here, which I posted the link to all this, by the way, so you can check this out afterwards if you want. Infographic, application window, share. There we go. So this is his infographic. This is the summary of all of his experiences over the 2 years. Now, for reference, the guy's 48 years old. Oh, I should probably show you what he looks like again first. Sorry about jogging around like this. Add to stream. Nope. Remove. Stop. Share. And application. Here we go. We'll get this down pat one day. It's hard to see, but this is him up over here in the right above this little emoji. He's a 48-year-old guy. I can't really tell too much about him. It looks like he's in a warehouse or some kind of loft area. Older gentleman, balding, has a little bit of facial hair. He looks a little bit fat in the face, so I'm going to say he's probably a little bit overweight. But this is our source for this one. Remove. And let's go back to the infographic that he posted. Stop screen, share, application window, boom, boom, boom. See, I'm getting faster at this. All right. So this is his infographic, his summary. So from February 2018 to April 2020, matched with 500 women on dating apps and went on dates with 100 of the matches. That's not too far off. You'll get way more matches than you will actually get in-person meetups. A lot of women, and we've said this before, use dating apps for validation and attention, and that's just what they use it for, right? And they always just, because they're hypergamous, they're always going to pick the best from the crowd. You also have to understand that women typically only swipe right on the top 80% of men that they have available in the demographic. So, the actual dates versus match ratio, 5-to-1, that seems pretty common. So he kept notes on every date as well as every match. Here's the numbers. So here's the compiled numbers. So where did he meet everybody? Matches, mostly on Tinder. Interestingly, most of the dates resulted from Bumble and Hinge. For those of you that don't know, Bumble is, they reach out to you first. He had 114 matches and went on 37 dates with Bumble, which is pretty decent. But Tinder was abysmal. He had 161 matches and only ended up with 19 dates out of that. Now, keep in mind, he said in his thread that he only dates in the 35 to 50-year-old range. So he's 48. This is where he's going with it. But most of the actual in real life meetings were the result of Bumble. I'm guessing it's probably because chicks reach out to you first. So there's going to have to be some interest there versus Tinder, where it's like either person can initiate the conversation. But that's where he met. So out of the 500 matches that he had, here's his summary. 488 had photos of them exercising. I don't normally see that, to be honest with you. Maybe exercising includes hiking, or here's a picture of me walking down the street or something like that. So, okay. 481 had photos of them eating or drinking. Usually you see that. 464 had at least one photo in their profile they were not in. Pictures of food, nature, art. This is when you start to know that the women are not that attractive. This is one of the first signs that they're not going to line up with their best photograph. And you can see over here, when we get to this, most of them are either older, uglier, and heavier than their actual profiles. But anyway, we'll get to that in a second. 441 had modestly filtered photos. 408 had photos of them hiking. 315 had photos of them with only their head or face. So 315 out of 500 of these chicks only showed their face. Right there, disqualifier. They're overweight. 291 had memes or quotes as photos. Give me a break. 273 had photos that said profiles that said no hookup. I mean, we all know how that usually unfolds at the end of the day. 267 had Snapchat animations in their photos, a crown of flowers, puppy dog ears. These are grown-ass women that are between 35 and 50. Annoying. 206 had heavily filtered photos. So a lot of them had photos. So pretty much all of them had filtered photos. 441, so almost out of the 500, almost all of them had some level of filtration, whether it was moderate or heavily filtered. 202 referenced Donald Trump, good and bad. 197 spoke negatively about prior relationships. In a profile, like 200 of them are complaining about their exes. I haven't had any luck. My ex is a bum. Yeah, I can see it. 162 had cats in their pictures. Those are the ones that were willing to put cats in their profiles, by the way. I'm gonna estimate that the ratio of women that are like cat moms or dog moms is probably closer to 2/3, maybe even higher, maybe 3/4. But he says 162 had them in the photographs. The rest of them were smart enough not to do that. 91 only had one photo in their profile. Wow, way to work this down hard, ladies. Okay. Did my date look like their profiles in real life? Overwhelmingly no. 71% were heavier than their profile showed. 66% look older than their stated age. And 38% look nothing like their profiles. Walk away when this happens. By the way, guys, let me remove that from the stream and go full screen. You should not be going out with any chick where there's any suspicions, where they have heavily filtered photos, they only have one photo, photos of like memes or food or something like that. You want head to toe pictures and you want current ones. Okay. If you have any suspicions that they're not current or that they're outdated, like i.e. she says she's 35 in the profile, but she looks like she's 50. I would just delete it and block their asses. But if you want to get some clarity, you can ask them to send you more pictures. You can link up with them either on Facebook or Instagram or something like that and see what they're posting regulars of. You got to filter out some of the crap so you don't waste your time. But you are going to see some crazy numbers here. So let's go back to the infographic. So again, overwhelmingly, they did not look like their photographs. Most expensive date was $237. Where was this dude taking these chicks for two? Like, that's obviously a dinner. $78.51 was the average date cost. What's wrong with these guys, man? You shouldn't be spending more than 10 or 15 bucks on a first date. You're going to go out for a quick drink or a coffee. It's 1 hour. It's a sniff test. You want to see if she digs your vibe and you dig hers. That's it. Why is he spending $78 on average? That works out to $7,851 is what this guy blew on 100 dates. The number of times a date paid, 3. Number of times a date split the check. So out of the 100, about, well, close to a third split the check with him. When you get to this stage, guys, I mean, the guy looks like he's successful in his dress attire. I wouldn't worry about this stuff too much on the first date, but subsequent ones, yeah, you want to see her bust out something. But first date, I wouldn't make a big deal of this. I wouldn't even put that in there. Number of matches that tried to get me to sign up for their private porn or OnlyFans site, 141. Are you kidding me? 35 to 50-year-old women was the date range that he's dating in, and 141 of them had a OnlyFans or some private porn that they wanted to. Give me a freaking break. The audacity of these chicks. Anyway, first date impressions. So let's look at impressions and conversations. 31% were dressed like they just rolled out of bed. 26% were dressed like they just left the gym. 61% had way too much makeup on. I don't have a problem with dressed like they go to the gym, like i.e. they come to see me first and then they go to the gym and they're wearing their yoga pants. Awesome. Good move, ladies. But if you're showing up after your workout all stinky and sweaty, it's a no-go zone, man. 61% had way too much makeup on. Well, they're 35 to 50. They're going to have to use cover-up for sure. 36% had way too much perfume on. 53% had their hair up in a messy bun. Could you imagine? Wow. Only 18% wore heels. 91% couldn't put their phones away. And 93% were late. Listen, dudes, if they're any more than 5 minutes late, you leave. Don't even waste your time. Let them show up and wonder where the hell you went. 91% couldn't put their phones away. That's another thing too. If you're out there spinning plates, if you're dating and she's on her phone constantly, I would just take it, remove it from her hand, take control of the situation, remove it from her hand, and drop it on the other side of the table and say, pay attention, right? Figure out how it is that you want to handle that. But it's totally unacceptable for a chick when she's meeting up with you to have her face glued into her phone. The smarter chicks will put it away, leave it in their purse, or leave it in the car. But it just goes to show you, the state of these women on these dating apps and the level of entitlement. So first date conversations. 87% talked about their kids. Well, 35 to 50-year-olds are going to have kids. You're definitely going to be dealing with that shit. 77% were scorned by an ex. So this is the conversations they had in the first date. My kids are so great. I've got 4 little superheroes, blah, 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 blah. My ex is a bum. This is typical. This is definitely reflective of my experience, especially in that age range, which is why you guys should not be dating in that age range. You should be going a lot younger. Trust me. 35 to 50, forget about it. 73%, they have trust issues. 71% talked about politics and Orange Man bad. I would not even make the effort to meet any of these chicks if they had some crap about politics or strong views against doing the work, for example, and put out their hand and want more free shit. Forget about it. 68% talked about past and present medical oh, give me a break. Almost 70% of these chicks talked about their medical issues on first date conversations. 64% said they don't have time to date. Okay, sweetheart. You're so special and so important with your job at reception at the insurance company. 62% said they are suffering from some form of depression. Wow. Almost 2/3 of these chicks admitted to being depressed. We know the numbers are higher for women, and there's a lot more prescriptions issued for SSRIs for women in that age range. But for 62% of them to admit to this dude during the course of his dating that they had some form of depression, that's pretty significant. 57% talked about their current financial situation, and I'm assuming not in a good way. Looking for Captain Save-A-Chick to swoop in and bail them out, I would imagine. All right, so out of the 100 dates, he got 38 second dates, 21 third dates, and 9 7+ dates. I wonder what that works out to. So he said somewhere here he had sex on first date. So 24 had sex on the first date. I'm going to say by the second or third date, you're getting laid, or you should be. If you're not, you're terrible at it anyway. So let's say about 45 out of the 100 had sex with him. That means it would have cost him around $200+ a bang the way he was spending money on a date. Wow. Anyway, so that's what progressed on to further dates. 17 dates that got drunk. Who made the first move? 62 out of the 100 they did, and 38 he did. I'm not sure I believe that it should be the other way around, but anyway. The bad: 2 stalked him, 13 ghosted, 9 asked to borrow money. Oh, that's how I would handle it. I just laugh at her. 4 of them cried on the first date. 1 had to call the police on. Now, I read the breakdown in the comments as to why, in case you're wondering. This chick the next day broke into his house, spent the whole day in the house eating his food and watching TV. I'm guessing she was one of the crazy ones. Maybe she was, on some form of depression or depression med. But yeah, he mentioned that in the comments. And 3 broke the law when with him, and he defined those. I think 2 were shoplifters, and 1 did damage to property or had to break into a house because she had to go pee or something like that. But either way, it just goes to 3 said they loved him on the first date. We love you, longtime GI. Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. That's a crazy set of numbers there. From an average looking dude. I mean, can you have a better experience? Yeah, you want to mix in a little bit of cold approach. He didn't mention anything about cold approach. It's missing some data here in this infographic, but overwhelmingly he's dealing with women that are a lot less attractive, a lot older looking, and a lot heavier than what he expected. And when they showed up on the first dates, overall, he's spending way too much money on it to sit around and listening to women that were talking about what a loser their ex was, have trust issues, are on some form of depression or on meds dealing with their depression, talking about their money issues, trying to sell them after the fact, their OnlyFans site between 35 and 50. Like, give me a break, man. Anyway, guys, that's the reality of all that. Let me see if there's anything here that I missed. No, we got it all over here, dudes. That's it. I got nothing else. I figured that I would just take this as an interesting piece. Again, it showed up a ton of times, this morning when I logged into my community and also my emails. So I thought that was an interesting share from an average 48-year-old dude. Doesn't say where he lives. Looks like he's in America, but it doesn't say where exactly. But let's just say North American women. So that's what you can expect as you get older. My view is stay with the younger ones. Even if you're 48, stay under 30 if you can do it. You're going to have a better experience. Women are more attractive. They're going to have less children in tow. There's less likelihood they've got a massive notch count and, SSRI, depression issues, all kinds of stuff. So be super, super careful with it out there, guys. Have some fun. Also, before I go real quick, I want to ask you to subscribe to a new channel that I set up earlier this summer. I mentioned it last night. Let me drop it in the chat here. So I've titled it Dad Hammer. I've got about 5 or 6 videos in there. They're just me doing shit. There's a lot of guys that don't have access to a strong masculine male role model in their lives. Maybe they grew up in a single parent household, which usually means a single mother household. They don't know how to do basic shit like store a small engine for the winter, like your lawnmower, and put fogger in the combustion chamber and all that stuff. So there's some stuff that I've done throughout the summer. I've got about 5 or 6 videos there on the channel. I'm going to publish them all this week. We'll see how it does. Maybe I'll keep uploading. Maybe I'll just beat it with a stick and bury it 6 feet under after we get some views out. But the link's there. Go watch it. If you're watching the replay, just go to the YouTube search bar and search for Dad Hammer. There's a banner that says A Man's Guide to Red Flags in Life. I'll probably have to change it at some point, but check it out. I'll be releasing the videos starting either later on today or tomorrow. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.